like my grandparents. Well, my grandpa's dead. I started caregiving basically when my grandpa was old and could barely wipe his ass or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he always worked on cars and shit. And I got to always say this is the reason why I love being a caregiver. I get to observe people at their golden in their golden years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like me and you are trying to figure out what to do with our lives. That's going to be like from now to the end. You know what I'm saying? So he was 84 when he passed. I learned 84 years of life from this man. With I think I took care of him for about four. No, I think it was about a year, maybe about a year. You know what I mean? I learned 84 years of life. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that there is a difference, like especially with relationships. When it was just me and him, he was a dude. Like when guys get together and just be guys, bullshit, talk about what he was a dude. But when we came out the bathroom, you know what I'm saying, like out in the open and everything, and my grandma was there, it changed up, and
Yeah.
I never understood that. You get that? But yeah, he had changed up, and I remember there was a point in time my dad was like he was lost into understanding who he was and how he lost himself. He was trying to do things in his 40s when he was doing when he was 20, like playing the guitar, getting back into karate and shit like that. He just didn't know what happened, and it's like he needed to go do what he needed to do to feel like a man because and same thing with here and my girl, you know what I'm saying? I love her to death, but I didn't feel like a man constantly because for one, I'm in an environment that doesn't cater socially to what I feel I need, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like just like how I on the bus just asked you, yeah man, what you writing? You know what I'm saying? People don't even talk to people no more. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm getting a little further off or whatever, but like, you know, in terms of a relationship, like I said, getting it from old people and understanding like the animal that we are. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? I think that's a real thing. And like I listen to a lot of Patrice O'Neal. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I listen to comedians just in general because they have to observe everything in order to be able to tell a joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like me personally, I love telling jokes. I still want to try to do stand up comedy or whatever. Not really serious about it. I'm more with music than anything. But like I'm fascinated with death. I'm
Mm-hmm.
tired of life. You know what I'm saying? I see we see life every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I see the different levels in terms of how we appreciate it, how we treat it, even towards each other or towards our things or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The separation is humongous. You know what I mean? Life is cool. You know what I mean? But I'm not. People don't know how to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you go into like 10-day silent retreat and shit so many people would not know how to live without whatever. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I force myself to, I don't even say force myself, it just naturally happens. You know what I mean? Like my girl can't stand uh uh if I'm just here and I don't feel like doing anything, I'll just lay in the bed, just kind of just kick back and just wander.
Mm-hmm.
And but she'll take it as you're not paying me no attention or whatever. It's like, no, it's not that. It's just nothing needs to be said, nothing needs to be done. It's time just to cool it out. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe my body is trying to tell me something, or mentally my mind is trying to tell me something, and it's putting me in the place to say, "Yo, stop it," because you have nothing right now. So just stop it and let things come. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? As a thought, you know, it's
So that's amazing, man. So many points you hit on. I mean, for me personally, all right. So, when I was born, my grandma had a stroke.
yeah.
Um, so, at about 4 or 5 years old, I learned how to cook.
Mhm.
Um, I was, so to say, her right hand, right side of her body was paralyzed, so I became her right
Yeah,
side.
she was paraplegic. Yeah.
So very sharp, good with money. I mean, my family, my mother, my grandmother, and my grandfather are entrepreneurs,
Right.
or were entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, they both passed as well. And she taught me a lot. She loved her numbers. She loved her turtles. She loved to crack jokes as well.
Right.
She loved to crack jokes. But I learned how to cook through her. One thing I wish I absorbed more was her love to play the piano.
Ah, okay.
And that's one thing that we hit on, but it was a lot. I wasted. I either was distracted by the
Mhm.
wrong things, or we just didn't have the right time and the right dynamic to do so.
Right.
But lovely woman. Now my grandfather's side, who's a Cancer and I'm a Scorpio, we technically had a relationship, but it was less said
Mhm.
and more shown in a
Yep. Yep.
sense.
So, basically, both of you guys, just like what I do with my girl. Like with my girl, she had a knee injury, right? Whatever needs to be done, she doesn't need to say it. I'll look around and say, okay, what would she do today? And I'll just look, sweep, clean up, whatever, so the pathway is clear. You know what I'm saying? If she needs something in the car, I'll ask her about, whatever, without trying to go into details. So you guys basically looked at each other and was just like, okay, I know what you need, or I know what needs to be done, or everything was just shown.
Yeah.
Nothing needs to be said.
Exactly.
Definitely, yeah.
Exactly. So that was our relationship.
Hmm.
Um,
Which one did you appreciate more in terms of the relationship? Being being with your grandma and being a part of your grandma, helping her out and stuff like that, or like her showing you and everything, or what you and your grandpa was just visual without words.
so even though my grandma taught me a lot when I was younger,
Hmm.
she had this, like I said, the dynamic of the family with my mother was weird, and I feel like I got caught in between that as well.
Definitely, same here.
So you're mad at my mother. In that time, she wouldn't be mad at me, but she would do things that would make my mom upset, scare me,
Hmm.
go get these like frightening masks.
Yeah, so basically, she used you to get back at to sort of get back at your mom, so to speak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so I became mischievous,
Uh huh.
and I would go in her living room, and she had these like ceramic things, and I would just sometimes piss in them. You know what I mean? And
Right.
like little stuff that like typically I feel like is so disrespectful now that I look at it in hindsight.
Hmm.
But it was a subtle anger there
Right.
that was not being expressed.
Hmm.
And then my aunt and my mother, my grandmother, with my aunt and my mother never really got along because of a situation that happened when they were younger. And my aunt, my grandmother kind of favored my aunt,
Hmm.
younger. I don't want to say it's this, but light skin.
It's a thing. It is a thing. Light skin,
So
dark skin. Yeah.
yeah, so in that case, I feel like my grandma in my younger age, I appreciated her. I loved to like spend the night, but it was also like I wish you were better to me.
Yeah.
But when my grandma got sick when I was about 23, 24,
Hmm.
it our relationship deepened.
Yeah.
And I would go visit her at the hospital.
Uh-huh.
Where every time I would go see her and have to do something for her, I would give her a kiss on the cheek. And she just looked forward to that. So we had a relationship that kind of deepened as I got older.
Hmm.
Now, my grandfather